Sebelum Ricard memulai perjalanannya keliling dunia dengan penerbangan berbiaya murah, ia sempat melakukan wawancara dengan Carolyn McCall CEO maskapai penerbangan berbiaya murah asal Inggris EasyJet. Perbincangan seputar dampak Brexit terhadap industri penerbangan hingga perbandingannya dengan penerbangan premium dikupas secara menarik. Dan berikut cuplikannya.
We've made our position as EasyJet very clear. The first thing to say is it's not political. In this country, anything to do with Brexit seems to be a political football. For EasyJet, it is not a political argument. It is basically about our consumers. And we have been very clear. We've said that actually we believe consumers of aviation, it is better to stay in the EU. And the reason, in a reformed EU, and the reason for that is there's no regulatory burden about flying freely across Europe. We can go to all sorts of places, anywhere we choose, without getting any permissions whatsoever. And we can do that at low fares because there's no regulatory burden. And if we are not in the EU, our government will have to renegotiate all of those agreements, either with a trade bloc, the EU, or with individual countries. That is going to take quite a long time, and we will be joining a queue of other sectors that will have to renegotiate terms. So we've been very clear. It's a passenger-focused point of view.
So really, when this whole issue comes up, it is the uncertainty, it is the what if that becomes the issue for yourself.
Well, I think it's a combination of knowing that we can fly freely, simply, with no administrative complexity across all these borders that you see here. And trying to negotiate with each of those countries is going to be onerous. It's not just the uncertainty, it's the transition. And then I don't know where that leaves Britain in the future. I don't know.
Low cost versus legacies. You're all meeting in the middle. I mean, the legacy, the legacies are going this way. You're going this way. You're meeting in the middle.
That's rubbish. You know that's rubbish. You just said to me that you've flown a perfectly decent, low-cost, long-haul airline from New York, but you know that you would get a completely flat bed and a completely different level of service and a lounge to shower in when you arrived with a legacy airline that makes a huge amount of money out of business class. What we do intra-Europe is really, really good, but we don't have, you know, the frills, the fancies, the kind of, you know, for an hour's flight, for an hour and a half flight, the legacy carriers do a whole load of stuff that we absolutely don't do and will never do because it's prohibitively expensive. And that is not our model. Our model is to be simple, efficient, friendly, speedy. That's EasyJet.
But what they want to do is to lower their bar just sufficiently so that they can pick off some of those people that would go with you, so that they bag in the hold extra or whatever. They want to have a product that makes it more...
Now, 95% of business passengers who fly with EasyJet fly again with EasyJet. They rebook, and 78% of people who fly on holiday with EasyJet rebook immediately that they come back. So our loyalty of passengers is incredibly important. It's important to us, I think it's important to them, and we will keep that.
Final piece of advice from you, please. I'm going 10 airlines, 9 countries.
You're gonna love it.
8. You want to come with?
No.
Any advice?
I just think, no, not really. I think enjoy it. I think it'll be brilliant, actually. I think it'll be brilliant. I think flying is fantastic. Don't you think? Being able to get from A to B in the way we can now at a low fare with people smiling at you all the time on EasyJet is a fantastic thing to do. You can get there and back in a day. It's an amazing thing.